Alrighty, so today we're going to do a quick tracking test and a little overview of my Gen 2 Athlon Argos BTR 6-24 by 50. This is mounted up in an Arc & Optics rigid light scope mount, and this is my 20-inch 6.5 grendel. Today we're going to be using the Hornady American Gunner ammo 123 grain Votel hollow point. So I shot a group with this last weekend. I shot a pretty good group. I'll throw it up here. It was about a 0.6 something inch group, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to give this scope a good tracking test. So here it is a couple days later. It's a little bit colder outside, but we're gonna go ahead and do it today. So the way that I have this mounted up in my Arc & mount here, I'm getting roughly 11 mils of elevation from the zero of the gun. So the clicks are nice. You know, as you can tell, they line up really good. It is 6 per travel, so that's less than my other Athlon scopes, which have 10. But I think it helps to kind of make them a little bit more tactile, a little bit more audible, being that this is a cheaper scope. I do have the zero stop set up, which is nice in the Gen 2s here. I have it set up at 1 mil below zero. So right there, you get a nice hard stop. On this one, it's 5 because I have it set up 1 mil low. I set this up like this because I'm doing different groups and things like that. And sometimes I want to move up and down. That mil of adjustment gives me a good adjustment range without having to move that zero stop. But yet if I dial all the way up, I still know where I'm at when I come back down. So the windage has pretty good clicks as well. They line up pretty well. So nothing to complain about as far as the turrets go feel. Now, the fact that they only get about 10 mils of elevation, you know, that's not a huge amount, you know, in the 6.5 grendel. But if I really wanted to, I could get a 20 MOA base, and we could definitely probably add, you know, 20 minutes to that, which I think is about 5 more mils. So, you know, roughly 15 mils if I had a 20 MOA base. So we do have that illumination. I don't ever really use illumination, but this one doesn't have the clicks in between. That's all right. Like I said, I never use it. Parallax is on the other side. We all kind of know how to use that. I didn't have any trouble getting the scope focused or using my parallax at 100 yards. So we're going to get out there on the range and we're going to give her a try, and we're going to see how this scope tracks. All right, so we're out here on the range. The target is at 100 yards. This is my 20-inch 6.5 grendel. We are shooting Hornady 123 grade American Gunner ammo. We're going to go ahead and do a tall tracking test here. Go up 5 mils and over 3 mils. We're going to try that a few times and we'll see how the scope tracks. So this ammo shot pretty good the other day. I shot a 5-shot group, I think at about 0.6 inches. I'll throw it up here. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to try the tracking on this scope. It was about 35 degrees that day, and today it's about 25, but it should be a decent day to test it out. The gun is cold. I haven't shot it today. So the gun's going to warm up as we go there. So let's go ahead and let's see how the scope tracks. All right, now we're going to dial up 5 mils. All right, there's 5. Let me go ahead and take another shot. Okay, now we're going to go to the right 3 mils. All right, there's 3 mils to the right. Okay, now we're going to bring our elevation back down to 0. All right, we're going to leave the windage. Okay, now we're going to come back to our original 0. All right, so we're at 0 now. see if our zero shifted at all. All right, gonna come back up to 5. All right, there's 5. Okay, gonna come over 3 to the right. All right, there's 3 to the right. Okay, gonna come down, leave our elevation, so coming down back to 0 there. All right, let me go ahead and go inside and get a couple more rounds here. All right, so I've been keeping the rounds inside just to keep them about room temperature. Try to keep all the rounds about the same. It is pretty cold out, as you can see. It's snow flurrying just a little bit. But now we've got to come back to 0 here with our turrets. All right, there's 0. Okay, now we're going to go back up to 5. All right, there's 5. Okay, over 3. All right, we're to the right 3. And down to 0. And back to 0 for our last time here. All right, last shot. Alrighty, so let's get over there and let's take a look at this target. Alrighty, so we're back here on the bench, and I'm going to let you guys make your own decisions from this target. These tracking tests are extremely hard to complete. Taking the human element out is kind of what we're trying to do, but it doesn't seem like it always happens. So vertically, it looks like our two groups were roughly 18.3 inches apart and 18.6 inches apart. This ends up somewhere around 5.1 mil, where we were trying to dial about 5 mils. So maybe that one click off, not sure. Because the groups kind of weren't as good as what I'd hoped, it's a little bit tougher to tell. Now, our side-to-side difference, we were dialing for 3 mils, which was about 10.8 inches, and we ended up at about 11.75 inches. So it seems like our windage dial is dialing a little bit more than what we are actually dialing on the turret. Now, as far as for our grouping and our returning to 0 and all that and our consistency, I'm not really sure what to make of it here. As you can see, that top left group grouped really good at under 1/2 inch, and then the other groups were somewhere a little bit more than that. So not sure if this is error in the scope, error in the ammo, or really what to make of it. So you guys can make of what you will, but here's the target, essentially about just over 18 inches vertically and just about 11.7 inches side to side. So the good thing about this scope is it does have a reticle in the first focal plane, so don't really have to worry about dialing for most shots, and you can just use the holdovers and the reticle. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.